Guys, before the video starts, Mindcadia Prisons is finally here. It's going to be releasing this upcoming Saturday, October 22nd at 3 p.m. EST. There's probably a little cool animation on screen showing off a little bit about this custom prison server. It's all custom texture, and it looks really, really nice, so I hope you guys check it out. There's going to be more information coming later this week. We probably have already posted a giveaway on the Twitter and the Discord, so be sure to, join the Discord down below if you want to get some more information. But yeah, it's going to be really cool, guys, so I hope to see you guys there. October 22nd, 3 p.m. EST, Saturday. All right, what is going on, guys? Mizo here. Welcome back to another episode of the Mindcadia faction series, starting from a default rank, pretty much solo in a duo faction. But guys, this episode is all about god set building. I've already announced this in my last video, and I'm sure a lot of you guys may be clicking on this even way after this is uploaded about a god set building guide on Mindcadia. Also, some of this information can be applied to Cobra, which I'm sure some of you may know by now as we've released it in the breakdown, or if the server is already up at the time you may be watching this video, which for me, it'll be in a little while from now. But hopefully, either way, you guys find some valuable information in this video. So as my IGN says, please leave a like and let's get into the video. All right, so just so it's clear, I'm going to be explaining literally every aspect of god set building. So some of this information may be repetitive if you're already playing, but some of it may be valuable as well. Okay, so obviously the first thing you're going to want to do is get an armor set. And I don't mean just no regular armor set. Nobody wants to build a god set on a regular diamond set or just a prop 4 diamond set. You want to get like an actual armor set from /armor sets. So right now, obviously the time recording was Koth, Leviathan, Marksman, Orc, Pirate, Rogue, Rover, and Wraith. Wraith is probably the best set out there in this map right now. It is comparable to Rover, except Rover's a bit more tanky. Leviathan's also a really good set because you get extra hearts. And then the the medium tier / low tier sets, which are pretty easy to get early on, but also decent, is Pirate and Orc. These two right here. Orc is a little bit a little bit tanky, a little bit damaged. Pirate is very aggressive, but it also is a little bit more squishy. So I'm obviously going to be making the Pirate set because I like, the aggressive sets. So on Mindcadia, a piece of armor can have up to 8 enchants by itself. Okay, all you need for that is slot crystals, and you can just add on the enchants, which again you can find in /enchants. But there are ways to add on extra enchants, 2 more extra enchants using orbs. So the easiest way I can show this off is in the gold shop. They're right here. Weapon orb and armor orb adds 1 enchantment slot to any weapon you apply it to, going to a max of 10 enchants. So that's what you're going to need if you want a god set. Everyone has 10 lore god sets. It's very easy to find them. They're pretty common. If you search orb, you can see there's a bunch right here. They are more expensive, so I'm going to actually need to get these as well, and they're going to be a little bit expensive. But you can find them there. You can also find them in the gold shop, which again, you can, claim this for free every day. Do redeem Mezoid. So when it comes to the actual enchants to put on your armor, I think that's the most confusing part for everyone. People just don't know what they do. They just kind of like follow. If they see like a set in chat, like this guy saying a set in chat, they probably just copy it. They're not knowing what it's doing, anything like that. So I'm going to try my best to explain each thing to you and kind of lay it out very easily. So there's always a set of enchants. I think it's always like 6 or 5 enchants, depending on if something is stackable or not stackable, that you want on every single piece of armor. So going through these right now, if we go into the legendary category and we look for armored, that is the first one that you want on every single piece of armor. I don't know why I can't find it. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so it's a max level 4 and it is stackable, so you do want it on every single piece of armor. Obviously, I'm going to make this clear. If you don't know what stackable means, it means you can put it on multiple pieces of armor and the effect actually increases. If it's not stackable and you put it on every piece of armor, it's only going to act as if it's on one piece of armor. Okay, so the chances of it don't go up, the benefits don't go up. So you got to make sure it's stackable if you're putting on every single piece of armor or multiple pieces of armor. So the first one I would say is armored. So this one decreases damage from enemy swords by 1.85% per level, and it is stackable. So that means obviously when you have on all your pieces of armor, it's going to be around 8%, a little bit under that, that you're actually decreasing damage from, which if you guys did not know, there's a bunch of just different ratios and effects happening in PvP on Mindcadia. Like for example, if I'm wearing this set right here, dealing an extra 20% damage, but then armored, it gives you less damage against swords, like for people hitting you. That means like I have like a basically plus 8% damage, like not taking it. I know it's a little bit confusing, but there's just so many factors going on, so that in order to be at the best standing, you want to have like the best enchants, obviously. So since I said for swords, you may be wondering, what about axes? That is the next enchant that you're going to want on every single piece of armor, which is tank. It is actually a mythic enchant, and that's for axes. I assume it's mythic because I guess axes are less common, but it's the same thing just for axes. So decreases by 1.85% per level. stackable, and of course max level 4. So those are the first 2 enchants I'm going to try and get on my entire pirate set, and then we'll move on to the next little set of enchants. I grouped these together because obviously it's decreasing incoming damage from enemies with swords and axes, and you want it on every single piece of armor. So I guess since we're trying to actually get some enchants now, not just talking, I should explain how you actually get enchants. So there's a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different loot tables on Minecadia, like loot bags. For example, we got the boss loot bag, which I've opened a few of them before. These give cursed rune pouches and soul rune pouches. I think there's other ones, yeah, legendary. I assume there's rare, mythic, and common. So all these rune pouches, you right click them, you open them, and they give you runes. I'm sure I have one of my PVs I can show. Yeah, right here. So mythic rune pouch, which actually I'm hoping I get some tank, but you open it, you get like a random amount, I think from 1 to 3, something like that. Eradicate. Purge 4 is actually a really good one. I'm probably going to need that later. And Ice Trap 3. So obviously we didn't get it, but that's how you get enchants off the bat. And with these enchants, there is another feature I need to talk about. I can't really show it off right now, but I'll explain it the best I can. Let's say you have a Purge 4 and like a Purge 1, and the Purge 4, let's just say it's really bad percentage, but the Purge 1 is like really high percentage for success. If you go to your Tinkerer, like /Tinkerer, you can also find this at spawn, because I don't know if everyone can run this command. I think you need a rank. And you put in both of the runes. Basically, these successes will combine, not directly. It's not like an addition formula or anything like that, but they will combine and it will retain the higher level. So if I put Purge 4 and Purge 1, the outcoming one will be Purge 4 with a higher percentage. So this is the way that you can like boost your runes up to 100% to make sure they work. And since we're actually talking about applying the runes now, there are some, some things that you need to know about consumables, which actually is in a G kit that I got. I think it was the last video, the Shaman G kit. So if I open this up right here, we're going to get slot crystals, which I've already explained. They give you a piece of enchant slot on any piece of equipment up to the 8th enchant. The transmog scroll is basically a cosmetic thing. It just rearranges enchants in order of rarity. White scroll, very important. You're going to want to put this on your armor to protect it from breaking if a rune fails. Like for example, you see this 40% destroy rate. So if for some reason I applied this and the 16% chance that it doesn't work, then it will roll again, and there'll be a 40% chance that it actually destroys the piece of armor or equipment. So you don't want it to destroy, so what you do is you apply a white scroll to it. That will protect it from destroying one time. So if it does actually roll to destroy, it'll consume the white scroll. You'll need to apply another one, but that's how that works. The next thing is black scrolls, which is kind of the opposite. It actually takes off enchants, but it's the same thing. So the success rate is the success that it will actually take off the enchant. What's also cool is the enchant taken off will inherit the success rate from the black scroll. So if I took off an enchant and it worked, it would be a 42% success enchant. Same with the destroy rate, but also these are risky as well, because if it fails and then it rolls the destroy rate and it destroys, then it will also destroy the piece of armor. But again, white scrolls will protect against that. So those are the main things you need to know about like god set building for the consumables. We kind of went through all that. What's actually good is we actually got some more pouches to open up. Okay, so we actually just opened up those legendaries and got an armored 4. It is only 56%, but we did get a armored 2 at a way higher percentage. So I can actually show off the Tinkerer now. It makes perfect sense. We put these together. It's going to go ahead and make a 100% success rate. I think I just barely hit that, because usually this would make like in the 90s or something, and a 40% destroy rate. So that's going to cost 10,000 XP. That's the only downside of doing it. And now we can go ahead and apply it onto our first piece of armor right here. It's going to take up one of the slots, and there's armored 4. So obviously we're going to work to get armored 4 on every single piece of armor, as well as tank. So now since we're back to how do you actually get the rune pouches, one, you can go to XP shop and actually go to rune pouches right here, and you can buy them. It's pretty expensive though. Like one of these is 35,000 for a single legendary. That's not that bad, but I mean, it will go pretty quickly, especially if you're trying to spam them. The other way is you can just go to envoys, and envoys will have them in their loot tables. Like I said, loot bags, all these loot bags have them. Bosses do, Koth definitely does, Event definitely does, Reset, that's actually special. Shilling's Cave loot bag, you can see them right here all over the place. Okay, we had a tank rune, a tank 4, and an armored 2 at our base, as well as a bunch of rune pouches. I'm gonna open these up. Hopefully we get everything we need. I'm probably gonna bring you guys back when we get all these enchants on, because there's plenty more to talk about, and we're only on the first enchant. Okay, luckily we were able to get all armored 4s pretty quickly. We even had some extras, so I actually sold one on the age for like 1.5 mil, but we are pretty lacking on tank. We didn't have a whole lot of mythics to open. We do have one tank 4, and we have some Tinkerer ones right here, so we're actually going to go hunting for rune pouches. Also guys, a huge strategy in actually targeting certain enchants is using your G-Kit armor and black scrolling it for specific enchants. So if I look through my G-Kits, if I have in PV1, You can see I've got like a health boost 3, judgment 5. If I wanted to get that off, I apply some black scrolls here. I'll take off the enchant and you can use that instead of hunting for rune pouches. All right, I've got like a full inventory of black scrolls. I'm sure there's enough to get like a decent amount of enchants off of G-Kits. Honestly, I probably should have started with this method. It's a lot easier. Okay, so my clip was totally lagging. I can't put it in, but we just went ahead and used that method. So what I did say was you do want to protect it with a white scroll because you don't want it to break. Okay, and when it actually does fail and the black scroll breaks the white scroll, you'll get this big message in chat like right here. Your helmet would have been destroyed by your black scroll, but your white scroll saved it, but your white scroll was destroyed in the process. So obviously I use a strategy that I always suggested, which is basically obviously there's gonna be like 5 enchants on a piece of armor and you're only gonna want 1 or 2 of them off most likely. So that what I usually do is I try to increase the chances of getting the one I want by using the lower value black scrolls initially to get off the bad ones. Like for example, I got Life Essence 1 for 52% success because obviously it mocks the black scroll, which meant that increased the chance of me, you know, using a better black scroll and getting what I wanted. So we got Tank 4 off for 77%. We got a pretty good Implant 73%, and the Frozen one we don't need it as well either, but we did get off what we wanted. So I'm probably going to continue with the strategy until I don't have any black scrolls left because it is a pretty good one. All right, we got Tank and Armored on every single piece of armor. I use a different strategy here. I actually bought some XP from the AH. If you AH search bottle, I only bought like a little bit and then I used the rest that I have. So it's selling at a rate of like $100,000 for like 2 million right here. I think I just bought it for 1 million off this guy and he just increased his price to 2 mil. Okay. But yeah, there's a bunch of XP you can buy. That's also another way to make money. Grind your own XP, sell it on the AH. You can use it in the XP shop, buy some rune pouches, and obviously get the enchants you need. Okay, moving on. Again, all these enchants I'm going over right now are the stackable ones, which is why I'm doing them first. I am grouping them into sections because they're stackable, so it's easy. You know you need it on every single piece of armor before you get into the specific piece by piece enchants. So Angelic heals health over time whenever you are damaged. It is stackable and it is a max level of 5. So that's number 1. That's what you want next. In addition to Angelic, you actually want Life Essence. This is another healing enchant, which is a legendary tier. This one is also stackable. Chance to regain half a heart when you receive damage. So again, another healing enchant. And I think the last one, which is the third one, I just saw it, is Enlighted. This one is also stackable. Last map, I think this wasn't stackable, or like 2 maps ago it wasn't, but you can heal hearts while taking damage. So those 3 are our next goals to add to every piece of armor. Okay, I just bought a Life Essence 3 for $2 million. It's getting really expensive. That's the one I'm struggling with right now. We actually already have Enlighted on and Angelic, which is good. I'm just going to YOLO the Life Essence onto the chest plate. Oh, I need to add a slot crystal. Go ahead and do that. And okay, that worked. So now I'm gonna do something risky. I think I'm just gonna coin flip $10 million because realistically it didn't take me too long to make 10 mil at end, but I really don't want to go do that right now. So if this fails and we lose, then I'm just gonna go end. But I'm pretty sure we can get a majority of the set done even without some money. I think this will just help us speed up the process. So we'll go ahead and do. I always go heads. Always go heads. Dude, I wasn't even like watching. I was literally tabbed out. It looks like I defeated Phrase for 19.5 mil. So they took 500k tax, but it looks like we did actually win that. So I don't have to go end just yet. That's good. We have 23 mil now. I probably should stick away from the coin flips. And let's go back looking for Life Essence. All right, we just spent that $10 million straight on XP. We got 1.1 million XP now, so I'm just gonna buy a bunch of these and hopefully we get it. Well, there's one Life Essence 3. We only need, I think, we need 3 more, but we got another Enlighted. I could sell that. Okay, it's getting to the point where we have to buy slot crystals, and they're pretty expensive. People are selling for like 1 mil each, but we do have all the healing enchants done. So that is 5 enchants done on the god set. We're halfway done with a full 10 lore god set. All right, so from here is another legendary enchant. I didn't really group it into anything, but it usually is stackable. I'm pretty sure it's stackable again. Yeah, right here. So Judgment. I guess it is kind of a healing one. I could have put it in there, but it's a chance of adding regeneration to yourself when being attacked. So max level 5, stackable. We got to put this on every single piece of armor. Okay, so it's been a while, but I've been scavenging the runes for our next enchant application. So first off, we have 6 lore, Judgment 5, Life Essence 3, Enlighted 3, Angelic 5, Tank 4, Armored 4. So I will say for basically any god set ever on Minecadia, you're going to have all of these enchants on every single piece of armor. As long as they are all stackable, is guaranteed you're going to have those. Like, you need to have it. You won't find a good god set layout without those. I can pretty much confidently 100% say that you need this on every single piece of armor. So before we get into like the super basic choices that you have to make, one enchant that you actually really want on your boots is Metaphysical 4. So enchants that are limited to 1 piece of armor is usually a good idea to have if it's mainly in a god set layout, because you won't be able to like swap it over to any other piece. So you kind of want to get those in first before you do all the specific changes, because you never know if like you're going to have to eventually take something off and replace it somewhere else because you made that mistake of doing it too quick. So Metaphysical 4, we already have it for 100%. I can go ahead and add it right there. That's our 7th enchant. Another 2 like that are the helmet enchants of Drunk 2 and Implants 3. So Obviously, Drunk 2, you need this on your god set. You can't be in a god set without it. It gives you strength too. It does give you slowness and like mining fatigue, but there are enchants as well as a command as well as a pet that removes that completely. So it really is just used for the strength too, and you need that on your helmet. This better not fail. Okay, it worked. There we go. So from here, there's another enchant that you're gonna want on any god set. It's health boost 3. I think I tinkered this already. I think I'm just gonna YOLO it. Please work. Okay, there we go. It worked. There we go. Okay, so from here, there are a few things you're gonna want to do. Another one that you're probably gonna want is Deathbringer 3. I normally put this on the chest plate, but it is an armor enchant, so you can put it on any piece of armor. Same with, oh, I actually forgot to apply implants. Completely forgot about that. I think I was going to talk about the implants. It's kind of if you want this or not. So implants is really good. It keeps your hunger at full basically, but there's other ways you can achieve this. Number one is you can get the pig pet, which is I think it's a common pet actually. Oh no, I guess it's mythic now. Wait, is it even here? Is the pig pet's gone? Okay, so I guess I'm wrong. It's not here anymore. Basically, the pig pet used to give saturation, so you just heal up. I guess now you need implants. The other way would actually be one of the masks, which is also gone. Okay, so I guess this is you actually need implants now. There used to be a mask that would give you the implants 3 effect, but it's gone now. So gotta put that on. Please just work. Okay, there we go. Okay, so next one, obviously Deathbringer. Like I said, I was just talking about that. It's a good one because you can put on every piece of armor. I don't know if I want to put on my chestplate just yet because the chestplate's already 7 lore and there's some other stuff you might want to put on. But yeah, so another enchant which used to be stackable is Dodge. So Dodge is a mythic enchant which basically gives you a chance to dodge an attack, like it just doesn't hit you or something like that. Chance to dodge physical enemy attacks and an increased chance if sneaking. So it used to be stackable. It's not anymore, so you only need it on one piece of armor, but you do want it. I would suggest putting this on a piece of armor, especially because it's not stackable, so you don't really need to take up too much space of your god set. Another one, Plate Mail 2. So this actually gives you resistance. Okay, Plate Mail 2 gives you damage resistance, which is very important. You need damage resistance, but there's other ways to achieve this. But the only other way is either you're in the crew that gives resistance, which I think it's not Vandal. It's Bandit. I'm pretty sure it's Bandit that gives res to it. If we hold tab, you can see everyone's on Plunderer, which gives speed 3. So here are 4 enchants that we know can go on any piece of armor, while we already have an 8 lore, a 7 lore, and I think a 7 lore and a 6 lore. Another really good enchant is Spiked 2. Again, another enchant, another armor enchant, but you put this on and it basically acts as thorns, but it doesn't affect your armor durability. So it's really good because it actually breaks the rage stack. So rage is an enchant on a sword that basically every god set has, that you increase your damage multiplier for the more hits you get in a row. So basically like a combo. So it's really, really OP. It's basically what everyone needs in their god set. So Spiked, if it procs, it actually stops the rage from stacking, which is definitely useful. We'll go ahead and add Deathbringer onto a chest plate though. I think that's the best spot for it, considering it's the most open spot right now, and the only other like chestplate enchant I need is Fat. So Deathbringer 3, chance to deal double damage. When it procs, you just deal double damage. Pretty simple. You're gonna want this in your god set for sure. So now we have an 8 lore chestplate as well as the helmet. So the helmet, we also have an enchant that I'm gonna put on it, Valor 5. Normally I don't actually put this on there, but I think it's a really good one. If you're wielding a sword, which we will be with the pirate set, it has a chance to reduce incoming damage up to 22.5%, which is a crazy number, and you're definitely going to want that, okay? Because that's going to make you a lot more tankier, especially when we're in a squishy pirate set. So I'm going to be putting this on our helmet, obviously, once we get the orbs. That's pretty much needed. Another one that's good that I think I'm going to put on, which I normally do put on my helmet, is Frozen 3. Has a chance to give slowness to the attacker when attacked. Both of these are not stackable. They're just 1 items that you can put on. On my legs, I'm going to be putting on Obsidian Shield. That's going to make it a 7 lore. Plate Mail will make it an 8 lore. Spiked 2 will make it 9 lore. And then Lucky 10 will be putting that on our legs. Again, that's only on the helmet and the legs. Helmet is already full, like we said. So Lucky 10 will go on the legs. So that will be the legs completely done, as well as the helmet completely done. Boots already has 7 as well, which we're going to be adding Unholy 5. Has a chance to give weakness to your enemy. I think that's pretty good. They deal less damage overall. Dodge 5, again, we've already gone over that. And then last but not least is Abyss 4. So that's going to finish off the boots as well. And that brings me to like my last enchant I would put on every single piece of armor if I had a spot, which is a stackable enchant called Reinforced. When at low HP, you receive a damage resistance buff. So basically, you just pop this on, you'll get damage resistance when you're low on HP, and it is stackable. So I used to put this on like every piece of armor if I could fit it. But yeah, you can see how the armor sets start to get a little cramped up here because there's some decisions you have to make. But again, there are a lot of things that could be changed. changed. Number one, we wouldn't need Obsidian Shield or Plate Mail if we had a Hybrid Shard on, which is really good, or vice versa. If we had one of them, we wouldn't need the other, and we just need like a Speed Pet instead. Initially, you used to be able to change out implants for the Pig Pet or the mask that had implants, but obviously you can't anymore. So again, these things are what change from map to map. There's always updates. You got to keep up with it to kind of understand it. But if you know what enchants are the core and you know what each one does, guys, like it's very easy to make god sets. It's not as hard as what people think it is. Okay, so this is actually an honorable mention that I kind of actually realize is going to replace Reinforce. I guess we're not putting on Reinforce. It's Diminished 6. When this effect procs, the next attack dealt to you cannot deal more damage than half of the damage you took from the previous attack. So that's pretty good. It basically cuts the damage in half by at least, like, you can't go more than that, which is good. It's a chestplate enchant, so I guess that realized that does take up the last slot, and we don't have any more slots anymore. Looks like I actually have an armor orb in my PV. I think I got that like really early on in the map, so that's good. Basically, all you do is you apply it like this, and as long as you have the actual slots, so we have 2 slots, and we have an extra enchant slot, you just apply it on Valor 5, and then it takes it up as well as the slot, and now we have a 9 lore. Damn, I just doubled my money while AFK again. I did another freaking coin flip. Where did it happen? Right here. I freaking beat this guy. So we have 19 mil because, I mean, these orbs are too expensive. I kind of want to get this over with. We've been grinding this god set out for a little long right now. Buy that one for 9.5 mil. I'll put it on the boot just so we can 10 lore it up. Okay, I found an armor orb and freaking hates chest, so I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm snagging that. We can make this helmet 10 lore, and there we go. Our helmet is officially done. So there's our first piece of 10 lore. Guys, I'm sorry, but there's no way we can actually finish off the god set today because we need Fat 6, which if I go ahead and age search Fat, it's literally $40-50 million by itself. So we're gonna have to get some money up. Okay, so I actually got Hate to log on and give us some armor orbs. We finished off everything again other than those cursed enchant. So we have a 9 lore chestplate right here missing Fat 6. We have a 9 lore leggings missing Lucky 10, and we have a 9 lore boots missing Abyss 4. Again, all these enchants we're going to add on, so I'm just telling you guys those are the enchants I would do that you can, you know, learn from if you guys want that or not. But I just don't have the armor orbs as well as the money to get the enchants right now because we are playing on the, you know, default rank, no series and all that. So it takes a little bit to get money, but we're going to be getting that very shortly. But yeah, obviously the one thing I have not talked about is weapons. Gotta be honest, I'm not the best with weapons or making god set weapons. I really only know about armor. When it comes to weapons, I honestly just hope I have an admin item. Like some of these, I would just use one of these. I know the Amnesia is really good. Some really good enchants that I do know is you need Divine Immolation on your sword. It's the best thing you can have. It literally multiplies your damage by like 5 when it's procced. Insomnia is a new enchant that's really good. I know that Crushing is good. I'm pretty sure Double Strike is good. Purge 4 when it's on the sword is really good. You usually can't do that. It's usually on axes, but all of these have Purge, which basically locks them in place. You need Rage as well. Lifesteal, people, you don't really need that. It's like good, but you know, I've heard that you don't need it. But yeah, those enchants I'm not the best with, so I'm not going to comment on those. This is mainly really about the god armor set. When it comes to the sword, just hope you have an admin item or get one of them because it's not too hard to get one. Apart from, you know, me making this video of explaining god sets for the series I'm doing right now, I'm glad we have a god set, guys. It's going to make it really good for the future videos. So leave a like down below if you enjoyed, if this helped you out at all. I know there wasn't any action whatsoever. It was strictly grinding, but that's what we got to do in series like this when we're playing as a default rank, pretty much as a solo, and also to help out a lot of the players getting into Minecadia or people that may be getting into Cobra in the future because there are similar enchant systems and armor sets and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed or learned something. I'll see you guys next one. Peace out.